Hello friends, this is Webster from My Therapy Garden YouTube channel. We're playing in the dirt, help me take away the hurt. Today is the first day of spring. Yeah! And you know, for me, that's rose time. Okay? So we're going to do rose pruning today. And there's lots of old wives' tale about when to prune and all of that. But the big thing about pruning your rose is to make sure that you've passed that last day of frost. That means your nighttime temperature gonna be in the 40s. Okay, so once your nighttime temperature is in the 40s, you can go ahead and prune your rose. You know, some people said you can prune it after forsythias bloom. I mean, forsythias are beautiful yellow flowers, after they bloom. But it depends on where you are. But for most of us, once we pass that last day of frost, then we can go ahead and prune our roses. When we're pruning roses, we want to make sure that, one, our equipment are clean. And for us, we're going to use the lopper that we have here, and then our little pruner. So we want to make sure that they're clean. So what I did, I washed mine first, and then we're going to use alcohol and to make sure that they're clean. So I did that before, but just again, we'll get some alcohol on our cloth there. And we just wipe. Make sure it is properly disinfected. Okay? If you don't have alcohol, you could also use a lighter and just flame your pruner. So you get it on, just hold it and flame it all the side, okay, to properly disinfect your pruners. Okay, when we're pruning roses, we want to prune the rose to about 1/3 of its size. So we're going to cut off about 2/3 the size of the rose. But for me, I always start at 18 inches, and I measure this bamboo here, it's 18 inches, and then I'll go against my plant, and I know I'm going to remove 18 inches. So all this will be gone, right? And I'll just use the lopper and just cut it first to 18 inches. Make sure you have your gloves on. And it may look brutal at first, okay, so we know all this about 18 inches right there. Because for me, I found that 18 inches is always a good place to start, whether you cut off 2/3 of it or not. So right there is about 18 inches. So we'll cut it off to about 18 inches. And we do that at first. Then when we're pruning roses, we have to make sure we remove the 3 Ds. The 3 Ds, okay? Any dead wood, disease wood, or damaged wood. Damage can be caused by the canes rubbing against each other. It could be caused by whatever caused one to break. And of course, a dead wood, because like this cane right here, we see that that's dead. So now we go through and we remove all our dead or damaged cane. And of course, anything we think have disease. When I use the lopper to cut off the top of the rose, you notice that it's flat, pretty much flat, okay? So now I can go through with the pruner and refine that cut, giving it a slant cut. So any water, be it rain or any moisture come on it, it will just run right off. If it's flat, the moisture will sit on top, you know, and then there's greater chance of disease, pests, or insect getting into the cane and causing that cane to be weakened or to die. So now that I cut it to the 18 inches that I want, I'll go through and get all my dead and damaged branches. The next thing is when we're pruning roses, we want to open up the roses. Okay, we want most of the canes to go from the outside. Okay, so if we look closely, we can find the bud eyes. Okay, let's see this one. We have right here, we have a bud eye right there. Okay, so that one is facing outwards. And we can look at all the canes. See, we have another outward facing bud eye, so that's good. To minimize the amount of cane going in, okay, if you have an inward facing cane, bud eye, you could remove that just to give your rose a better chance of surviving in the year. Okay, so there we have it. We'll cut all our rows to about 18 inches. We'll get a second one done. And again, once we cut it off, we remove any dead, damaged, or diseased cane that we have on the rose. Okay guys, so we just finished pruning all the roses back to our 18 inches. So you can see all of them looking the same. All along the hybrid tea rose garden, all the roses look the same at about 18 inches. And you might ask why I go 18 inches. Conventionally, you always trim 2/3 of your roses. But for me, if I go 18 inches, that keep all of my rows at the same height when I prune them. So that's why I go 18 inches and not just trying to figure out what 2/3 of one rose is and versus 2/3 of another. So 18 inches for me work fine. They're short, but not too short. If you love roses as I do, sometimes it's so hard to trim back the roses like this. But roses like to be pruned back hard. So don't be afraid to cut it back hard. It will come back twice as big with twice the bloom. So we have all our canes there on the ground. Now what we're going to do with that? Well, as gardeners, we share. So my neighbor is coming over later to get some of the cane. He brought me a bucket of daffodils that we have down here, which I plant out the daffodils, and then he'll come and get all the cane of the roses that we have here. And so two of my neighbors coming over to get these roses. Whatever is left over, I'll put that on the compost pile. Remember that pruning of roses is good for the roses. It helps the roses to grow stronger, and of course more flower. It produces more flower. Okay, so trim your roses back hard. Cut them back hard. Take my word for it. Cut it back hard and see whether or not they do better, okay? And they will, especially now in spring. They'll be vigorous, lush, and of course with lots of bloom. So I hope you plan on cutting back your roses hard this spring, and we'll grow together as we share how our roses do for this season. You like this video? Please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when new videos are produced, when new videos are posted. If you have any questions or comment, please drop a line down below. And as always, this is Webster from My Therapy Garden. We're playing the dirt, help me to take away the hurt. And today we prune all the roses, the hybrid tea roses. We cut them back hard to about 18 inches, and they'll grow back more luscious for us this year. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, and God bless you.